Drafting worldwide, wide. Welcome back to the Revit Garage project. We are at the part where I just wanted to kind of reiterate a lesson that, or go over again, a lesson that I thought I covered pretty well within the windows and doors, but I really wanted to make sure that you guys are getting a good understanding of this, because whenever I went through and started checking that assignment, I saw a lot of problems with dimensions. So we have a certain dimension format that we're supposed to follow and how we're actually supposed to make these look. So I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of these, and I have two different examples that we're going to look at. This is just a square building with some doors and windows in it. Nothing on this side. So that's one example. The other example is, and I'll close that, is a different project that has this L-shaped with doors and windows in it. And I'm going to go ahead and start with this one, and I'll start by pointing out the problems with this. So the first problem is these dimensions right here, they should be out here. And all I have to do to make that happen is drag them out here. So I run into a major problem whenever I look at this. These two, this dimension here and this dimension here, seem to be dimensioning the exact same thing. And they have completely different dimensions. So this one right here is really an overall dimension lined up with this, so it makes it look wrong. It looks like the dimension or the length from here, this corner to this corner, is wrong. It makes it look like it's 42 feet, and it's not. So if I drag this out here, then you can start to see that the 42 is the overall dimension. Okay, so this shouldn't even be in here, and we got some other issues. So I'm just going to start from scratch with this and show you what these are supposed to look like and how you're supposed to do them. And I always looked at it like this, like 3 O's, the 3 O's of dimensioning. Overall, which is the furthest one out. Offsets, any offsets in the building's structure, the walls. And then openings. So we are going to go to our annotate. We're going to use our aligned. We're going to make sure that it's still face of core for what we're dimensioning. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to grab this, face of core, and then I'm going to do the overall first. So I'll grab this one, and I think I grabbed the wrong point for a second there. One more time. Grab that. And then I come down here, grab that. I bring it all the way out here, and I drop it. So just to be able to see this even a little bit better, I can bump up the scale while I'm doing this, and I see that my overall dimension is not modular. So I have 39 feet 10 3/4. So I'm just going to double check both of those. And then I would have to make it correct. So before I do that, I'm going to check this one in here. I'm going to go to aligned. I'm going to dimension that. And I'm going to go to that one. And then I'm going to complete this string by going there. So on this one, I picked up the offsets. And I can bump this scale back down to something where I can actually see what they say. So again, I'm off. it's not modular. So I'm going to be checking about 3 or 4 different things through this process. So at this point, before I do anything, I need to get these things modular. So I know that this needs to be bumped out to like 16 feet. This one is correct. So I can literally just grab this little chunk here, that wall, and this dimension becomes highlighted and I say 16. So now that fixed everything. Now this is 40, that's 24, this is 16. Next, I will dimension the openings. So in a framed wall, I dimension to the center of the opening. Align, dimension, basic core still. I choose that line, the center of the opening, and then I go to the center of the next opening, and then I finish it off by selecting that final wall. I drop it right there, and I have my first string of dimensions away from the building is my openings. The next one is the offsets. The final one is the overall. I do the same thing on this side. Overall, I'll start out here, bring it out here. The next one, I'll do my offsets, so I'll start there. And I'll bring that all the way out here. So again, those look modular, so that's good. I have no openings in this side of the wall. None. So I don't need a string of dimensions for that. I do have 2 openings in this part right here, so I'm going to start that, instead of putting it in here, this dimension, I'm going to start by going from that wall to the center of that opening, to the center of that opening, and then I'm going to complete the string out here. I'm going to bring this out here. So again, the format is openings, offsets, overall. Openings, offsets, overall. Those 3 strings. I'm going to pretend for a second that I had no openings on that side, just so that I can show you what it looks like. So on this side, I have no offsets, I have no openings, all I have is an overall. So I only need 1 string of dimensions out there. On this side, I only have openings and overall. So the first one I'm going to do my openings to the center of the openings. I'll reiterate that, tell you that again. Bring this out, drop it like it's hot. Then do an overall. Drop it like it's hot on the outside, and this, like I said before, I just have openings and an overall. That's how I would dimension this one. Real quickly, going to this basic 30 by 40, I'm just going to quickly go through and do this one as well. This side over here, first of all, I need to, this is a completely different set of drawings, so I'm going to bump the scale up a little bit and make it so that I can see that, make sure that I'm dimensioning to the face of core, choose my aligned, and I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select that. Oh, jeez. So then I do my overall out here, and I'm going to use something a little bit smaller than 3/4. I'm going to try like 3/8, like on the last one. So I got that dimension. Again, it is modular. This one has openings. So I'm going to dimension to the center of the openings because it's a light frame wall, and go complete the string, drop that right there, come back, do my overall, put it out here like that, and just very quickly dimensioning to the center, completing the string, dropping it, doing another string that does my overall, drop it out there. One more time. For anyone missed it the first few times, to the center, to the center, to the center, complete the string, pull it out here, drop it, bring this one out, drop it, and that's how I would dimension this one. So in the assignment, I will be checking for, first of all, that the dimensions are modular. Second of all, that you follow the format where we have openings, offsets, and overalls, all included as needed and in the correct location outside of the building. And I'm going to also check to see that the dimensions are dimensioned to the center of the openings. Finally, whenever I'm done, I'm going to turn the scale back to what I'm actually using, and it's going to make things a little uglier, make them not fit as well. So if I need to do any adjusting like this, where I can bring this out a little bit further, and right now the crop region is, his crop region is basically way close in there, so I adjust that crop region and I start bringing things out a little bit further so that they're a little bit easier to read, a little bit neater looking.